Hey folks, Ted from Immersion here, and we have some more D&D news to talk about. There's some new products that were announced today, and I use announced very loosely because they weren't really announced. They just sort of came out in an article and then were retweeted, so I don't really know what's going on there. But there's going to be a Curse of Strahd revamped, I guess pun probably intended, coming out later this year in October. But it's interesting because you can't even find it on the Wizards of the Coast D&D website. At least as of me clicking open on this recording, it doesn't exist. Guess where you can find it though? Amazon and IGN of all places. It's kind of weird. So let's go ahead and go over. So here it is on Amazon. $100, Prime shippable. You can pre-order it right now. There'll be an Amazon affiliate link in the description if you want to pick it up. First of all, it is not new. It does not revamped, or it is revamped, but it is not a brand new product. It's just the same stuff reprinted, but with a coffin-shaped box and new stuff. All right, so this whole piece here is Curse of Strahd, okay? Resting in this coffin is a premium edition of the award-winning D&D adventure book, Curse of Strahd. Curse of Strahd Revamped splits the adventure into 3 parts. Not really, it's the same book, just soft cover D&D adventure book. I want to point out, for $100, you are not even getting a hardcover book. You are getting 3 soft cover books. Soft cover D&D adventure book with updated content, a Creatures of Horror booklet containing the monsters and NPCs. So, okay folks, I have Curse of Strahd right here. In the back of my Curse of Strahd book is the monsters and NPCs. So let's not sugarcoat what this is. This is an updated book, which is good, and we'll talk about that. But it's basically the first few chapters, the adventure chapters, pulled out into a soft cover book similarly to the Essentials kit or the starter set. Then it has the monsters and NPCs in a separate book, and then a separate book just covering the Taraka deck, right? So there are some pages in here with pictures, and then there's a whole couple sections talking about the Taraka deck, right? So let's look here in the book. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pages in this book, reprinted into a separate book, okay? Learn what fortunes await you in 50 oversized 54 foil stamped Taraka deck. Okay, I think I just put my Taraka deck in the other room. Yeah, I have the Gale Force 9 Taraka deck, which is just a standard set of 52 playing cards that rather than having cards, they have those, what you saw me flipping through, the pictures. That's what they are. They're these, here, I'll switch back to my camera so you can see. Where am I? I'm over here. Here we go. It's these. It has these pictures on it, right? Artifact, Beast, Donjon, whatever, all those. Okay? So it's got 52 cards with that. These ones are these are 54. They are oversized, so I'm guessing this means they look more like a tarot card, a traditional tarot card. And they're foil stamped, and they come with a storage box. The Gale Force 9 ones are a regular card size, playing card size, in a simple tuck box. Use a sturdy 4-panel DM screen designed especially for this adventure, with tables outlining encounters in Barovia, the Barovian calendar, a guide to reading Taraka cards, and more. I hope it's not just the Gale Force 9 one reprinted, because that one's kind of dumb. Navigate Barovia and Castle Ravenloft with a 21 by 30 double-sided map, and give players 4 handouts, there's 4, from the original adventure as they unravel the mysteries of Ravenloft. Invite friends to the table with 12 postcards featuring beautiful, eerie art of locations across Barovia. So, what is inside? Once again, soft cover Curse of Strahd, a DM screen, oversized foil Taraka deck reading booklet, Monsters and NPC booklet, Strahd stat block sheet, which isn't even included in the previous part, 2 full-sided fold-out map, 4 handouts, and 12 postcards. This, folks, is $99 to go ahead and pick this up. So if we go and look up Curse of Strahd real quick, Curse of Strahd here on... We can get Curse of Strahd, the hardcover book, for $37. I went to the Wizards of the Coast website to look up the Taraka deck, as from Gale Force 9, is $10. So right now, you could go out and buy a hardcover Curse of Strahd that will have basically almost everything and a standard Taraka deck for $50, right? With tax and rounded up. And I know I think there was a map in here, like a pull-out map. Yeah, there was. Right here. This is perforated, mine's out. And here's the handouts, right? They're in the back. You just could print them out if you wanted. And the map was a fold-out map. This is probably going to be something that's nicer quality. So I saw this was announced on comicbook.com, so we can go ahead and look. And then there's a full unboxing of it with Chris Perkins that I learned about on IGN. IGN, folks, you know, the Dungeons and Dragons website. Come on. I just feel like... I get it that IGN is a source of news for a lot of folks, although they are panned a lot because of their poor review purposes and like the way they handle reviews and possibly paid for reviews, and you know, nothing's really ever under a 7 on IGN. But I mean, this is where I learned about it. It says exclusive first look. So in my mind, that means when you read exclusive, you think that it is exclusive. Is this on the IGN? This is on IGN's website, so it is exclusive to them. Why would you not like give this to a D&D or a tabletop like website to do the review, or a content creator maybe? Content creator who does unboxings? You know, there's plenty of us out there. But anyway, let's take a look at what's on comicbook.com, then we'll watch the IGN video. Okay? So, let's see. The new box set will include an updated version of Curse of Strahd that either removes or revises insensitive depictions toward the Vistani, a group of people seen as perpetuating Romani stereotypes, and the character Esmeralda, who has a prosthetic wooden leg that was depicted in the book as being a secret. Additionally, the collector's edition will contain several bits of Ravenloft paraphernalia, including a foil-stamped Taraka deck, physical handouts for the DM to provide players, and illustrated postcards for the DM to invite players to the game. All right, first of all, I highly doubt anybody's actually going to use the postcards to invite players to the game, especially because, like, we're in a pandemic. You really want to mail stuff to people to tell them to come to a digital game because you're probably not meeting in person. Granted, this is coming out in October, so hopefully things will be better by then, but you never know. Okay, so good news is it does include all of the revamped stuff that they talked about in the diversity in D&D article, where they're going to remove harmful stereotypes and, you know, remove insensitive material. That's good, but I hope that we also get that in the updated printings of the hardcover books, not just in this soft cover one in a coffin-shaped box. And then here they reference it in here. In an interview with IGN, Perkins noted that the boxed set emerged from his desires to make a version that came with the iconic Taraka cards used to tell the player's fortune, and also set up the random elements of the adventure. You won't be charged until it ships. You can pre-order it live on Amazon right now. Again, if we go to the Wizards of the Coast website and search products, let's go to products. Here we go. And we're going to search Curse of Strahd, see what we get. We get the adventure, the Taraka deck, and Dice Master's Tomb of Annihilation. We can't even look up their products on their own website. All right, well, let's watch this interview with Perkins together and see what we can find out about it. Maybe there's some more information. If not, we'll just look at the pictures.
What's happening, everybody? John Ryan here from IGN, and I'm super excited because Wizards of the Coast just sent me this, the Curse of Strahd Revamped box for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So I'm really excited to dive in and check out what's inside, but I think I'm going to need a little bit of help to do so. So thankfully, Chris Perkins from the D&D team is here to help us have a look at what's inside. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing real good. Really excited to get into this. Why don't you tell folks at home just a little bit about the set before we get into the nitty-gritty of what's inside?
Absolutely. So Curse of Strahd Revamped is a boxed set deluxe Curse of Strahd experience. Just in general, we don't do a tremendous number of box sets, and we don't always have the luxury of time or money to kind of really test ourselves. We thought of, okay, let's make this box coffin shaped. Oh, well, that's a big challenge for a number of reasons. You think that, we're just taking something that exists, we're putting it in a fancy package, and whoop, it's done. But actually,
that's what
so much thought and so many people were involved in the concepting of the packaging and the design and the cards and the card box and the DM screen and everything, that it was actually a very time-consuming but fun process.
And there it is. Here it is all out of the box. We'll make sure to get some actual good B-roll for you folks at home so you can have a look at what's inside in detail.
So it's a soft
Chris,
cover.
let's go through and see what's actually in here, shall we?
So if you're familiar with Curse of Strahd, it is an adventure that we released in 2016 that kind of leans heavily into gothic horror and features the villain vampires. The adventure plays out. And it was always my wish that at some point we could put a version of the adventure together that actually had the cards with it. And it's out of that idea that this box set emerged. We wanted to test ourselves. We want to see what can we do in this box and still keep it at a certain price range and serving their gothic
Right, so they are
quality.
bigger. They don't look. They might be tarot
But the
cards.
packaging on this is really, really nice. It just like the assembling of it. Like I know it's a very minor thing, but like I really appreciate like when a box is well organized. Like when you've got like little drawstrings to pull out, and you don't have to like dig your hands in. It's a really beautiful looking set. Whenever you and the team release a new DM screen,
Okay, I like the screen.
a
The
great
screen
deal
looks
of
nice.
thought and kind of curation must go into what goes into it. And I really love.
I'd also like to point out that he's saying whenever you guys release a DM screen, Wizards of the Coast has released 2 DM screens. The original DM screen and the DM screen reincarnated. Every other DM screen that's been released for an adventure is done by Gale Force 9.
You can see the
I
art
like
on
the art. It's
outside
very nice.
is this really cool
Like
stylized
some purple. I like it.
postcard-esque art, which is also part of the postcards that come with the game, which we'll dive into in a second, because you've broken out the books
See?
into 3
3 soft cover books.
separate sort of pamphlets. You've got the main Curse of Strahd adventure. You've got 2 smaller booklets, Creatures of Horror, and then the Taraka deck sort of compendium. And looking through them, like it's essentially a small Curse of Strahd specific monster manual, as well as the pages from the book that initially detailed all of the Taraka decks, right?
Exactly. We knew that the user experience would be better if the DM had the monsters in a separate booklet. That way there's less.
I mean, you're going to do that for every book going forward, because this adventure module is no different than any other adventure module where the stuff's in the back. That's what players are used to, but let's keep going.
Page flipping that has to go on. The DM can just have the encounter open and also have the monster stat block right there when they need it for the new monsters that appear in the adventure. So that was just a user experience.
Mind you, it's only for the new monsters in the adventure, not for the existing monsters contained in the monster manual.
Upgrade that we really kind of glommed onto. And then putting the Taraka deck information in one booklet also seemed handy too, just so the DM just has that separately.
The Taraka deck maybe comes up twice in your whole adventure. You do your initial reading, and then maybe Madame Eva does a reading. Maybe there's a third reading that I'm unaware of, but like it happens maybe, like I said, 2 times in the adventure. Unless you, the DM, choose to add more. It being in a separate book, I don't think I really need that. I'm being salty, guys. I'm sorry.
It also comes with a few handouts, which I personally like. I love giving my players. When we were able to gather physically around a table, I really enjoy giving them specific items. These come with several letters, journal entries.
There are those 4
Those
pages
handouts
in the back of
originally
the book.
appeared in Curse of Strahd, the adventure. But of course, in the original adventure, everything's bound up in a book, so you can't really tear them out.
It ain't then bound that well. My book's falling apart, like I'm sure a lot of yours are, where the book just starts as is typical with all of 5th edition products. Mine, from sitting on my shelf, is just completely falling apart. So if I really wanted to take my handouts out, I could do it pretty easily. Back to the talk.
You can't tear pages out of your adventure book.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
can.
kind of a bad experience.
With a razor blade,
The
you could-
hardcover
yeah,
book for
yeah.
handouts is not the best user experience.
Postcards I like this one a lot. Barovia, wish you weren't here.
One of the ideas that was bandied around was this idea of, well, for a premium adventure like this, having something that the DM can basically send out to invite the players to their first game session.
Yeah, okay. Nope, that ain't happening.
The good thing is, we knew that we're going to have a DM screen component, and we were kind of wondering what the art on the outside of the DM screen was going to be. And then we had this idea that was being kicked around of maybe throwing some postcards in, and we thought, well, we could actually kill two birds with one stone, commission art for the postcards, and then reuse that art on the DM screen. If we can find the right artist to sort of capture a certain
the art's phenomenal. I can't argue with that
really well, and kind of bring some coherence. Well, with a poster map, because you've got two sides to work with, you kind of have to figure out what's going to be the feature on each side. The castle Ravenloft is a no-brainer.
Wait a minute.
It's a very complicated structure.
Is that the same
good for a DM to be able
map?
to visualize it all at once.
It's the same map.
See how all the various levels of it connect. So having that dominate sort of one side of the poster map was key, given that this is the location which has the final showdown with the vampire himself. For the other side, because with Curse of Strahd, for those who don't know, is basically an expansion
they did
of an
put
adventure
that
that
on
was
there.
published back in the 80s called Ravenloft.
So the poster map that's in it does not include the original one does not include the little town maps, because if we look at it here, let's see if it tells us on Amazon that it comes with a pull-out map. It does not tell us about a pull-out map, does it? Okay, yeah, it does. I was going to see if it said that it has like a removable map. It does not say that. All right, back to the video.
But that original adventure didn't have a lot of space. It had 32 pages, so it basically detailed the castle and the village of Barovia. But with Curse of Strahd, we were able to show more of the land of Barovia, a bunch of new locations, and how those different poster map and show everything. But then on that poster map, we also have these smaller inset maps, really for the DM.
Adventure Booklet itself. Now, this is the most recent version of the adventure that includes all of the errata, which include a couple of important changes in terms of characters description, in terms of character descriptions, and in terms of how it covers some of the citizens of Barovia. Correct?
That is correct. Everything you said is true. To get into some specifics, for instance, we got some customer feedback from playtesters and community members on the depiction of a group of people called the Vistani, who are these wandering planar travelers. And so we changed certain sections of the adventure to make sure that the depiction of them was handled better. And there was another character, a Vistani vampire hunter named Esmeralda. And we got a piece of feedback that said, Esmeralda is a disabled character. She's missing a leg, which she replaced with a wooden one. But the text said that she takes great pains to hide her disability. Some people were offended by that, and it was hurtful to them. And so we went back into the adventure and surgically altered that text to make Esmeralda not ashamed of her disability.
That's good, but it's one line of text. So I don't want them to overplay that they surgically adjusted it. It says it's like one singular line that they just cut.
Because she really shouldn't be.
I agree.
And more to the point,
she's also one of the most badass characters
piece of art of Esmeralda that shows the leg in full glory.
Right, exactly.
And she's not hiding it. It's there. Mm-hmm. And so this was a great opportunity to take that feedback, internalize it, and then affect change to the text. That would just make the adventure a better experience for everyone.
Agreed.
And that's something you and the team have been working on as sort of a holistic goal for a long time now, right? Sort of making inclusivity and diversity a more forward-facing and an important feature to the team and to the D&D community as a whole, right?
Exactly. And it's an ongoing process. With even books that we publish, we can change and amend in future printings, or in a case like this, when we release the product in a new form. So we sort of think of our books as being in a state of flux. But beyond that, the conversation is ongoing.
Good.
Because these adventures have a wide reach, and they're played by hundreds of thousands of people. And with every new set of eyeballs and experiences, we learn, things from the community about, things in the adventure that they wish were different for this reason or that reason. And in many cases, those changes are warranted, and we're more than happy to make them.
Now, is this something that we could potentially see more of down the road with, say, Rime of the Frost Maiden, or if you reprint other adventures? We knew Tyranny of Dragons just got released last year.
Yeah, I think we are open-minded in that regard. So Curse of Strahd is an experiment for us. We don't normally do this kind of premium box. If it does well and people seem to like it, we have other things that we can do in the similar vein. And people are really in for a treat. There's one component we didn't mention when you unpack the box.
Yes, there's a very fun surprise waiting inside for me, but I don't want to ruin it. So in the meantime, I'm going to prep to run this with my home players, if we can, when this releases in October?
October 20th, right before Halloween.
Excellent. So October 20th, the box retails for $99.99. Chris, thank you so much for taking...
Okay, so... it doesn't... So we can look at these pictures real quick. Let's take a look at the pictures. So here's the whole set. It looks like this picture with Strahd on the front is just like stuck to it, so you can take that off if you want. Yeah, it's just like a wraparound. Okay, there it is. It does look like a nicely packaged box. I can't argue that. So we see Creatures of Horror. There's the Taraka deck. There's the handouts, the map, the postcards, the softcover adventure, the foil cards, and the DM screen. There's the Taraka deck, the postcards. That's it. All right, we don't get anything more than that, which is kind of a bummer. I was hoping to get a look at the inside of the DM screen to see kind of what's on it. So, all right. So let's talk about it. One, it just seems like a cash grab, honestly, to me. It's fantastic that we knew they were reprinting Curse of Strahd anyway to include the inclusivity and the insensitivity issues. We knew that was coming. I just assumed that meant a new printing of the hardcover. But anyway, that being included is great. It seems almost like a cheap out and a cop out to have a premium book, a premium set, and you don't even get the book in hardcover. You get three soft cover booklets. The Taraka booklet seems kind of silly. Including the Taraka deck is great. Like I said, the original one was $10. Hell, if we go and look at the Curse of Strahd DM screen from Gale Force 9, I don't know if we can actually pull it up. I don't know if we can. On the Gale Force 9 website, I just jumped over there to see if we could get it. I don't see it anywhere on their website. But typically their DM screens don't run that much. You might still, in theory, be able to get a hardcover printing of Curse of Strahd, the Taraka deck, and a DM screen for still less money than this new revamped edition in the coffin-shaped box. They also were like, ooh, there's something really cool inside there that we didn't mention that's kind of a surprise. And I'm wondering if that's the Strahd stat block sheet that is mentioned in the Amazon article that they didn't mention. So they mentioned the softcover book, the DM screen, the Taraka deck, the Taraka book, the Monster and NPCs booklet, the two-sided fold-out map, the 4 handouts, and the 12 postcards. But they didn't mention this, the Strahd stat block sheet. And I'm wondering if that's the cool, fun, secret surprise they mentioned, and Amazon, in typical Amazon fashion, spoils it for everybody. So another thing, Curse of Strahd came out in 2016. I don't know, and I really truly have no way of knowing or finding out how many people are still interested in playing an adventure from 4 years ago, because it's been out for a while. Just in like my general gaming space and the people I interact with, not like the larger internet at whole, but you guys can sound off in the comments and let me know. Have you played Curse of Strahd, or do you have any interest in playing Curse of Strahd? Is this revamped $100 coffin-shaped box edition going to be enough to make you want to do it? I also feel like it's a bragging right piece and it looks good on a shelf, but considering we can't get together physically with other people, that prestige of having this cool thing and the cool fold-out map and all of that stuff and the Taraka cards to show off your badass foil Taraka cards, that's not going to happen till we can all get together. So it doesn't matter if I have the oversized foil cards or I use the standard $10 Gale Force 9 ones. I can't show them to you because we can't rightfully be together in one space for the most part, right? There are specifics, right? If it's everybody in the house or you're all roommates and things, there's ways, you know, but for the most part, we're not supposed to be going out and getting together and playing these games. But again, maybe October 20th, by then the whole world will be better and we'll be able to do that. I don't know. So do I think I'm going to buy this? Probably not. I have Curse of Strahd. I have a Curse of Strahd DM screen. I have a fold-out poster map. I have Taraka cards. I don't need it. I'm a huge fan of gothic horror. I love old-school Dracula-style vampires. I love Castlevania. Those are huge parts of my childhood and things that I absolutely 100% adore. I still can't justify spending $100 to have a coffin-shaped box. Also, that ain't fitting on a bookshelf. You need a special display shelf to fit a coffin-shaped box. Look, you can even see somewhere. Where is it? Over here. Simon Belmont is right there on my shelf there next to Ash from Army of Darkness. So I love this kind of stuff. And were you to have told me that at the start when the book first came out that I could have bought this book or I could have bought the Coffin book, collector's edition, I would have 100% bought the coffin-shaped one. Because I also feel like a lot of us as gamers, when a new game releases, we usually we're used to options as video gamers, right? We're used to going to the store to buy the standard version of our game for $59.99. The limited, the elite, or the collector's edition, which might include a physical bauble or two, but it'll usually include the season pass and some other digital content for like $79.99. And then we can buy this super mega ultra epic collector's edition for like $150, and it comes with a statue and it comes with a bunch of other stuff. And we're used to doing that. So if that was the option when this book released, I would have jumped on it because that's what my brain, like, I'm engaged to do. A lot of these, not all of these, but a lot of these statues up here are from collector's editions of games that I bought, and it came with a statue. So I would have gladly done that then. 4 years later, after I've had a chance to play it, run some of it, watch other people play it, I'm not really interested in buying a collector's edition box of Curse of Strahd. I'm sure if this is the first time you've ever considered running or playing it, this may be something for you because it is a collector's item and it's nice and it has a bunch of other features, which would be good. But as I said, in like the close-knit group of friends I have, every single one of them has played Curse of Strahd. Most of them have played it and ran it or played it multiple times. I don't think they're going to jump for joy to go get a collector's edition box for $60 more than you could buy just the hardcover on Amazon for, or again, you could just buy it on D&D Beyond, and you know it's not going to come with a code to get digital versions of this. And the updated errata for it will be released in PDF form once the book comes out, and the updated version of it will be released on D&D Beyond if it's not there already. So, I don't know. I'm sorry this video is probably longer than it needs to be, but that was a 12-minute video we just watched. And I'm sorry if I came off a little like salty or upset. I don't know. I don't like this like almost guerrilla marketing where and by that I mean they're literally hiding the marketing. There is no marketing. I guess guerrilla marketing is the wrong term. They're just like putting out stuff and they're not telling anybody. I didn't learn about this from a Wizards of the Coast tweet. I learned about it from a retweet of Chris Perkins from like IGN. That's how I learned about this new D&D book coming out. I couldn't go to the Wizards of the Coast website and their newest articles or like newest products feed didn't tell me. The fact that I'm a member of the Wizard, like I follow Wizards RPG team on Amazon, that I get emails about to tell me that there's something new was announced. Yeah. I just also feel like there's physical boxes already exist. They sent one again to IGN of all places to do the unboxing. There are plenty of other people that I would love. I mean, I guess, IGN's big, so that's a good thing. But like, there are other RPG content creators out there and RPG websites and companies that do this kind of stuff. Like, why couldn't you send this to somebody at like EN World or you know, some other N World? I don't know, some company like a website or a place like that, and have them go through it. Comicbook.com seems to be more about doing Dungeons and Dragons than IGN in my mind. I don't know. That is my I guess my half an hour rant on Curse of Strahd Revamped Edition. I want to know your thoughts in the comments, though. Are you interested in this? Are you going to pick up a copy of it for yourself? If so, why? Is it because you don't have Curse of Strahd and you're like, well, if I'm going to get it, I might as well get the premium? That I understand. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up a copy to do a giveaway. This could be a fun giveaway item, I think, to do in October, to do like a Halloween Curse of Strahd giveaway. So maybe I'll do that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below again. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon for continuing to support the channel. And thank you to all of you who have subscribed to the channel. If you haven't already and you like what I do here, please consider doing so. I'll see you all next time.